we would move into another data type today, which is called a tuple. So we've talked about lists, we've done a lot of things about list. So I think the rest, what we have to do is put more practice into list. So do more practice. So the more you practice it, the easier it is for you. So today we will go into multiple tuple. Tuple is just is almost synonymous to list. The major difference between list and tuple is got a parenthesis bracket, while list has got a angle bracket. So this is the major difference between them. So this is, as you can see here, so it's got a normal bracket, which we call parenthesis, while the list is called angle bracket. So although they might look similar, but there are some basic things unique about tuple, which is not in list. So tuple are used to store multiple items in a single variable. So we have a variable name, my tuple, and we're storing multiple items, apple, banana, cherry, the way we did in list. So tuple is one of the 4 built-in data types in Python used to store collections of data. So the other 3 are list, set, and dictionary. So all with the different qualities and usage. The meaning is the qualities of a list, a set, a dictionary is not the same. It's quite different from each other. So this is why it says they are not the same. So a tuple is a collection which is ordered and unchangeable. So we can change a list, but we cannot change tuple. So this is something unique about tuple, is unchangeable. So because you might have an assessment whereby you've been asked the qualities of tuple. So they mean the data you have in the tuple is unchangeable. So the meaning is once you have it in it, you cannot change it, and it's ordered. So you cannot distort it. So tuple is also written with a round bracket. As I've mentioned to you, this is the round bracket here. So these are the things you use to identify a tuple. So how do you create a tuple? We want to create a tuple, call this tuple. So we call the name this tuple, which is a variable name. We'll put apple, banana, and cherry into this tuple that we print it. So if you print it, you will get the result. So let's try to see, do it ourselves, because as I mentioned to you, the only way to become very good in programming language is for you to do it. So tell me if you see my screen. Can you see my screen? Type in the meeting chat if you can see my screen. Say yes in the meeting chat. Okay, good. Thank you. So now let's go to a new page. So let's click here. So now we want to write a tuple called this, called my tuple underscore. So my tuple is, we can name it anything. You can name it data or whatever. It does not mean that you have to use. So it's a normal parenthesis. So we have apple. We have banana. Is my screen paused? Oh, What about now? Can you see the screen? Tap yes if you can see the screen for my code. Okay, good. So now we have banana. And we have a third one, which is sharing. So this is a tuple. This is a tuple. So now you want to print, you say print data. So now we have the tuple printed. So you can as well try the same and make sure you have the same result. So it's a very good thing to always practice it before we move on. So let's continue with the slide. So the tuple items are ordered. They're not, they're on change, and it allows you to have a duplicate. So tuple would allow you to have a duplicate values. So tuple items are indexed. So the first is the same as 0 as we have in a list. Yeah, just like list. The only difference is that this is having a number bracket, and list has got a angle bracket. So tuple items are indexed. So, but list can be changed. We can change list, but we cannot change tuple. It is always fixed. So tuple items are indexed. The first item has index 0, and the second item has index 1. So ordered, what do we mean when we say it's ordered? When we say the tuple is ordered, it means that the item have a defined order. So there is a defined order in tuple. So and the order will not change. It remains the same. Is unchangeable. Tuple are unchangeable, meaning that we cannot change, add, or remove items. So you cannot add, you cannot remove items after the tuple has been created. So allows you to have a duplicate. Yes, it's going to allow you to have a duplicate values. You can have apple, apple, you can have cherry, cherry, you can have banana, banana. So we have some of them which would not allow you to have a multiple values in it. So we can also find a tuple length. Let's try to see this unchangeable. Let's try to remove something from tuple, or let's try to change something from tuple and see if it's going to work. So I'm sure, can you see my screen now? So let's say data dot remove banana. Data dot remove parentheses banana. So let's say we want to remove banana from the data. So now let's see if it's going to run. So there is a question that says if the data is not arranged, would the tuple arrange it? So let's see. It's a good question. So is it unterminated string literally dictated line A? So what is the problem? Okay, we have a problem here. So let's run it again. So it says a tuple object doesn't have an attribute remove. So we cannot remove any value from tuple. So let's also add, let's say data.add cashew. So data.add cashew they say tuple object has the attribute add. So what are the things that we do with list that we cannot? What are the things that we do with list? Let's check it out. We added, we remove, we do we have a replace? Yeah, we have replace. Let's try to replace and see if it's gonna work. So this is a very good way to learn all of these data types. So let's see if you can pop out. Let's remove, okay, we cannot remove. Let's extend. So let's see if we can pop also from tuple. So let's say data dot pop banana. So let's run it. So the same tuple doesn't have a pop. You can see. So this is why it's been said is unchangeable. It's not very easy for you to manipulate anything in it. So there's somebody asking a question saying, if you disorganize the data, for example, if you put, let me write cashew here. Cashew, let me write apple here. And let me write banana here. So I think all is fine now. So let's try to print this data. So it's gonna print what you have. So your question that is it gonna arrange it properly? It's not his responsibility to arrange it properly for you. So there was someone asking that if the data is not input in orderly to tuple, doing it, rearrange it orderly. That will what do you mean orderly? Orderly is so it's gonna be the way you have it. So the only thing you can check the index, say data. You want to check the index. Let's see. Here's Apple. So did you see? So there's no need. It's gonna give you according to the indexing. Data. Index 3 sharing. So there's no need to rearrange for you in orderly manner. Orderly manner is the way you entered it. So orderly manner is the way you entered it. So if you want to rearrange it, then you would rearrange it yourself. So, but it's not going to change the number or the arrangement for you because this is what you did yourself. So these are the things we were saying about it. So tuple would allow duplicate. So we can also print the length of tuple. So to determine how many items a tuple has, we use a length function. So example, print the number of items in tuple, set this tuple, print the length, the tuple. This is why I said, when people were saying the list was difficult, I said, if you understand one data type, other data types will be pretty easy. So I'm not a kind of person that rush my teaching because I know you just have to be patient with whatever you're doing. Once you're patient with it, you will benefit from it. But if you want to learn everything within 2 days, you want to be in haste, then you will have a lot of issues. So imagine, okay, yeah, orderly means the way you arrange it. If you say apple, banana, cherry, it's going to arrange it like that. So it's not going to change the arrangement. So this is what we say is orderly. So, and so this is pretty easy. You can do this yourself. There is no need to. So now you want to create tuple with one item. Can we create tuple with one item? So to create a tuple, with one item, you have to add a comma after the item. So otherwise, Python would not recognize it as tuple. So what does that mean? One item tuple, you have to put a comma. Let's say, for example, you want to write, let me show you what they're saying here. You want to have a tuple, which has got only one item in it. So let's say you have a tuple, you say fruit. So fruit is equals to, so you said fruit is equals to mango. So then you want to print, it's a print fruit. So it's gonna print mango. But it doesn't know. Now, if you want to check what type of data is your fruit, say print type fruit. Sorry. Print type fruit. So it's just called a string. And that's why I did not give you an error. You call it a string. Is that understood? So if you want to make it to see it as something else, you put a comma. So if you run it, it's going to print the same mango for you. So if you print the type, it's going to tell you now it's a tuple. Do you see? So because sometimes you can have a tuple with only one item. So, and let's say, okay, yeah, I think that's it. So if you want to have a tuple with only one item, you have to put a comma. So because if you refuse to put a comma, it's going to see it as a string. So it's not going to give you what you need from it. So this is exactly what we do. All right, so let's move on to the next level. You want to print, you say print this tuple is apple, comma, print type, this tuple is going to say tuple. So, and so I did it for you, colors. So if you want to print this, it's going to print for you string. So tuple items can be of any data type. So we can have a tuple being of string, integer, Boolean data types. So it doesn't matter wherever any type of one of data could be a tuple. So now let's see some examples here. So a tuple can contain different data types. Like example, my tuple with strings, integer, Boolean, tuple 1, ABC, 34. The same as list can also be of any data types. So when you say type, from Python's perspective, tuple are defined as objects with a data type tuple. So I think I should do that before. So what is a data type of tuple is going to be tuple. So this is how to say type. My tuple is going to say tuple. So if you want to construct a tuple, we call it tuple constructor. How do you do it? It is also possible to use tuple constructor to make a tuple. So what do you do? A constructor like we did in list constructor, we can also have a tuple constructor. So what do? You will say this tuple is equals to tuple, you open a parenthesis. So because any data you have, you can change it to wherever you want it to be like. So let me show you what I'm saying here. Let me go to the, let's say for example, you have a data. It's very cold, sorry, and I'm having so much kata. So you say my tuple is equals to tuple. So you're casting it to become a tuple. So you can say, for example, if you just say my tuple and you put sorry, goat, cow. So these are animals. So if you say print my tuple, print my tuple. So it's gonna print for you my tuple. Yes. So now you want to see what type of data is it? Say print, print type of my tuple. So you want to print the type of data my tuple is. It's a my tuple. So, but you want to create a tuple, you would say you put this into double bracket. So we call this a tuple constructor. So you want to construct a tuple. So did you see? So now you have a tuple. So then if you print the type, it's gonna say my tuple. So we call it a tuple constructor, but sometime because you can have a data which is not tuple originally, but you want to make it tuple. If you have a data which is not tuple originally, but you want to make it to become a tuple, this is how you do it. So that's why it says you put a double bracket and you have your values being made a tuple. So when choosing a collection type, it is useful to understand the properties of the data of the type. If you want to choose a specific type of data to use to store your information, it's very good for you to know the qualities or the characteristics of this data. So choosing the right type for a particular data set could mean retention of meaning, and it could mean an increase of efficiency and security. So if you know what a data type can do, then that is going to make it easier for you to be able to know how to do it. So I would stop here. So we would like to take some questions if you have a question before we move on to the next level in the next class.